welcome back to our playthrough of City of Gangsters. You're with Ordinath, and we are playing the Russell outfit. And you'll remember last time we loaded up with a bunch of goods, and we're now ready to go on a bit of a selling spree to see if we can't make the bank balance a little bit bigger. We are also ready to hire another person, so we can probably get that done as well and get ourselves into a position where we've got some automated delivery running, so we'll see how far we get with that. Now, I believe we have also filled out the corners that we have running to date, so we've got both of these filled out now, so it'll be time to I guess invest in a bit more territorial expansion. Now ideally this would be wonderful here, but there's no business on that corner. This would be another good option, but again there's no business on that corner either. So we're kind of in a bit of a tight spot about where to expand here. The only other option is really pushing down here towards Kavar, but I'm not so sure that's a great option either. Let's have a look. What's this business got? It's only got 2 next to it. Down here is not too bad. And we could take this corner. So again, not real profitable. None of these are real profitable. I think this one's probably the best, because you've got one business there, 2 on its own corner, and then 1 more down here. I don't know what's in this one, but we'd have at least 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's have just a look at who's here. So she's just clumsy, which is fun. Alright, so let's take our bag of cash and we'll start that expansion. And let's see how much this is going to cost. So 460. So as you get further on, these corners become more and more expensive. So we'll set up our new front. And we'll get them expanding away. And we're out of moves, but let's use these moves here to see what's on this corner. So unfortunately we don't really have any more businesses, so it'll just be 4 that we'll be taking money from. So that'll be a bit of a break-even corner, I reckon. And let's go ahead and extort some money from these people. Unfortunately he doesn't want to play ball, so we'll just smash that up. Why don't they just pay the money? It's so much easier. This one's the same. Guess we'll have to revisit that in a minute. So now we're going to sell a bit more of our ill-gotten booze. Now we've got a few more of these second tier ones. I probably should have done that beforehand. So you can see now, because we've got such a bad rep with this guy having smashed to bits his business, he will not buy our counterfeit wine, which is a bit of a problem. But that's okay. You can see that he'll be upset at us for 12 turns because we smashed up their business. So we'll just have to wait out the 12 turns before we can sell to him. In the meantime, there will be other places we can sell our counterfeit wine, which will be fine. So let's go ahead and sell the brick wine here. It's 14 crocs to get rid of. Now we've got 17 moves to do a bit of exploring. Now we're going to end up over this side of the map, so I'm going to keep exploring in this direction. Because we will need to continue to find places to expand into that will be profitable. I might just roll past him and see what he's his wedding mission. So let's have a look where else we've got. So what have we got in the car? We've got 6 bottled rum, 6 counterfeit wine, so they're kind of the important ones. Bottled rum, counterfeit wine. Okay, bottled rum's up there, which we did before. Got a little bit of sparkling cider. A little bit of backroom beer. Okay, so all of it's over here, really. Guess we'll make a friend out of that. And we'll go the counterfeit one. Get a bit more money for it. And we'll take the opportunity to sell some more brick wine. And we got one more action point available. I'm a bit of a tidy up sort of person. I like getting rid of the odds and sods if I can. So backroom beer or sparkling cider. There's our sparkling cider. We can get rid of that here. And I'm also a bit of a mean person in that I always want to get the maximum price for it. So if I've got favour with them, I'll always take up that option. Haven't really got anywhere to explore here with the move, so I will just move to the next place I'm going to sell. I think we sold the spice rum last time, didn't we, to a bottled rum. I think we sold the bottled rum to this place last time. We've still got the backroom beer. We can sell the backroom beer up here. Okay. Oh. We don't have this person in our pocket. I think it would be wise if we did that now. Take the chance. Hopefully, when we bribe this police officer, we'll get a nice weapon. Another pistol. That's pretty good. Now we should be able to sell our backroom beer. Get the best price. And should really start heading back over to start beating up on these guys. Over here who wouldn't take our give protection money. So we've got maybe we can just drop in now. Oops. We'll get rid of the pistol, take some more brick wine, just balance the cash. Now we're a bit short on crocs for the next 5 turns. Okay, we'll get enough, I think. So we'll get 40 in the next 4 turns. That won't quite get us there. So we better buy some crocs as well. Stoneware crocs. Alright, I'm just deciding whether we go over and continue to hassle people or we get our stoneware crocs. I think we're going to go get our stoneware crocs. Oops, we're in the wrong spot. Get a discount for those. And I don't have room. That was a bit of a mistake, wasn't it? I really needed to make sure I'd sold off what I needed to. I think I'd already sold here, hadn't I? So we'll take the opportunity to go up here and sell here. It's 28 crops. That's pretty good. Now, if we look at the notices, we got police descending, which I've just bribed, and that was our improved relationship. Now, a couple of offers we had outstanding, which I didn't take up, and then Annie's got yet another bonus. So you'll notice that because we've gone down distillation, we've lost the brick wine one. Now I think we're going to go down production manager because that will reduce the number of crocs. stoneware crocks we need. So now if we have a look here, we only need 72 instead of the 80. We'll still need to buy some more, but at least we'll be able to do that. Okay, so Annie has gained enough renown to get a nickname. Babyface. She's not really dangerous or a live wire. She's going to be Annie Flapper. No, she's organised. She's not friendly. Ritzy. Late Owl. Oh, let's do that. Late Owl. She stays up hard working. I think that's a good name for her. Okay. We'll go hop the rest of this wine. Now, let's make sure we go get some stoneware crocks while we got the chance. Is that the best place? Probably is for the moment. Whoops, we need to get a better price than that, surely. Surely you can give me a discount. I'm your friendly crim. Alright, we'll drop those off to make sure that we can produce our next lot of brick wine. And we will keep selling these. So you can see we're getting an enormous volume of alcohol coming through now. Like in another 4 turns we're going to have another 88 to sell. So we're going to have to hire someone very shortly to make sure that we can keep up with this amount of production. Now, I've just got to remind myself, where have we bribed so far? So we have this police precinct in our pocket. I can't remember if we do have this one in our pocket. I don't think we do. So I would say we will need to do some bribery there as well. Actually, from memory, I think the 2 we have in our pocket. Yeah, the 2 we have in our pocket, or the one we have in our pocket now, should be this one. Perhaps this one? I'm gonna have to go explore the police stations. I can't remember which one we bribed first. I thought it was this one we bribed first, but maybe it wasn't. In any case, it doesn't really matter. We will go and work that out shortly, but let's go and explore while we've got the chance down towards that police station in any case. Okay, so our corner's expanded, so we need to go back here and do a couple of things. One is to beat up on these 2. Still not afraid of me. That's just frustrating. Oops, let's have a little chat. Still not afraid of me either. Okay. So now we need to give some money to our front. So when you haven't really got an income, they can run out of cash. But that's okay. Let's see if we can get these guys. So this is good because what we'll do is we'll sell some brick wine. Make him our friend. And then we'll ask him to make payment, which he does, which is great. So that's that corner sorted out. Quicker to sort out than the other one. Let's continue to find our way down to the police station. Check these notices. Nothing going there. Clear all of them. And now let's get our eyes on the police station so that we can see which ones we have or have not bribed. Okay, so that one we obviously have not bribed. And this one belongs to Lauren Merrick. It would be good to get her in our pocket, which we might take the opportunity to do now. So we'll use the favour that we've got here with Jan. To get some support. And let's see if she's got some really nice weapons. Revolver. Alright, we'll take the revolver. And then we need to keep annoying these guys. Okay, these guys are taking forever. Oops, that wasn't the one we wanted. We're going to have not much favour with any of these guys. Okay, we've got one to comply. That was all a bit much. Okay, we've still got one. We've still got one left. One action left. I think I've sold to all these people down here. So unless they happen to want some bottled rum. Alright, let's go and try and sell this bottled rum. Okay, we can sell the 6 cases to there, that's great. And then I think we'll probably fill up whatever's left of the brick wine. And from a selling brick wine point of view, we're probably going to head down here, so we'll just start moving that way. Alright, let's go across here. Which block's he on? Let's sell some brick wine, 16 crocks. How much is this guy going to take? 13. You can see now that I'm kind of producing a lot of volume, there's quite a bit of, there's not really a lot of volume to ship off at each location. They're sort of taking, you know, a little, but not a lot. So we'll just have to keep a bit of an eye on that as to how that progresses. Alright, so we've got an absolute load of cash. We're expanding another corner, but now it's time to really get ourselves into a more automated space. You can see we're kind of running out of moves and time each turn to keep up with the amount of production we've got. So we really want to hire someone to move all these goods around. Now fortunately we've got a 2-door passenger car already from previous mission. It would be nice to get truck driving and see if we can get a bigger truck. So maybe let's have a look at our skills. So we do have truck driving, but we didn't end up getting a truck with that. So we can either go hunting for a mission to do that, which would be good. Or we can go to somewhere that sells vehicles and see if we can pick up a better vehicle. Or we can just start off with our 2-door. I think we will start off with our 2-door and at least get that going. And then we can go hunting for a truck. Now, in terms of hiring a new crew member, you can see because we've got over the 10 corners, we can now get 3 crew. And so we want to find a crew member who's going to be good at doing deliveries. So, the most important one for doing deliveries is sharp-eyed. Sharp-eyed gives you 2 things. It makes them good with firearms, and it also means that they get 2 extra movement points. Careless, ironically, also gives you 2 extra movement points, but it does have some downsides. So we want to go sharp-eyed. Often you can't find people who are sharp-eyed. It's a bit of a pain, but you know, if you can get them, that's good. Alright, so our sharp-eyed person's all the way over here. And this is another great example of why you upgrade your movement skills first, because often you find yourself in the position where you need to use that skill. You need to be able to get across the city to find someone you really want. So, since we're going to be doing a bit of a trek, I think we'll do that now. So let's see what's going to be the quickest way to get us down. So we got 16 to move to there. Is there anything on the way we want to kind of do, or are we going to look at these businesses first? I think we're going to look at these businesses first. What's this person got for a mission? Okay, so this is a $500 mission to get a skill. This may help with our booze operation. Have we got the money to do it? We've got plenty of money, so let's take a bit of a punt here on this and see if we can't get a good skill for our $500. Okay, so what have we got? We've got Meatly done. I don't think we're doing that. Cider making, or get some money, or homebrew production. Look, it's always good to get more skills, but to be honest, I don't think I really want cider making or homebrew, to be honest. I'm happy with my moonshine, so I'm just going to take the money, I think. Okay, they've got another mission for me here. Raving about the brick wine. I have friends who could help advance some of my skills. Yep, sure. Okay, that's good. Delivering brick wine, that's pretty straightforward for us, so we'll take that as well. Okay, they also have a favour that I can use. Get me in with local troublemakers. Anyone buying or selling interesting events. No, I don't think we'll do that. Alright. Let's take the opportunity to look at this one on the way through. This is the bathtub gin mission. So they're saying you came across some bathtub gin. I had a customer ask about it. So if you deliver a bottle of bathtub gin to them, let's just make sure we've still got one. This will then set us off down the path of being able to make bathtub gin. So I will do that because we may get into moonshine a little bit later. So we'll do that. And now let's get ourselves off towards where we need to be. Now what have we got? Someone would like... Oh, that's a long way away, we won't do that. There's the new businesses we found. And of course the police are descending on a particular spot. Alright, somebody else wants to make us an offer. It's the Nicholas guys. Now let's have a look. We are going to travel over here. We won't get there quite this turn, but let's just look at the businesses we've got on the way. It says truck service. Quite like the truck service. Now we might stop in with them on the way back, just because they might have a truck for us to purchase. A new corner acknowledges that we're in charge, so that's good. We'll have to get it back across there. Now this... Sometimes when you're hanging around the hoodlums, they will attack you. They get angry at you just for being in near their crew. When you first meet them, they're always pretty much angry at you, especially brawlers, and they'll come and try and attack you. Now, unfortunately, I think I'm now in a position where I've taken so much damage I will not be able to take any actions, which is a bit of a bother, but let's see. Yeah, so you can see, if I try to explore this business, it says, this crew member is injured. They can't work for you in this state. You should send them to the safe house for recuperation. So this is going to cost me some time. Now if we look at the attack, he hit me with a billy club and unfortunately got quite lucky, so I lost 43. I still did 68 damage to him. Now, if I had a second member or I was still in the green, I could turn around and probably kill him, but that has its own ramifications. So what we'll do is, because we're over here already, I am going to at least move to take up these spots. But now I need to get myself as quickly back to the HQ as possible. So this is going to take some moves. So it's going to take till next turn, really. So anyway, that's what we've got to do. Look, it's a good idea not to get injured because it really does, especially at the start. It burns up an enormous amount of time. You'll see also, because I queued the movement, when I've hit the end of turn button, it's kept me moving along. Now, if you don't want to keep moving along, there is a little stop button you can press up here, and that will stop the queued movement for the next turn. So let's go ahead and heal. So as long as you're on the corner of one of your safe houses, you can chat with the person who owns it, and then you say, I'll hang out here until I'm healed. Now once you press that, however many turns it takes for you to heal fully is how long it will take. And it's based on the number of action points you have left. So I can't remember exactly how much it heals, whether it's 20 or 30 a turn, but you will take up an action for each of those healings. So say it's 20 per action. If you've got 3 actions, you'll heal 60. The other thing is it's affected by these traits. So one of the things I've got here is I'm weak, which means I'll actually take longer to heal, unfortunately. If you don't have control of the cop in the local area and it's hot on your corner, or you've got a lot of heat on the corner, it's a good idea to empty the car, because if the cops come along and you've got all that stuff, they will take it all off you. So good idea to empty the car while you heal as well. So we'll go ahead and heal now, and that'll take, I reckon, at least 2 turns, maybe 3. In the meantime, we can ignore all this because we're not going to be doing any deals. And Scary Russell has got another point, so we'll finish off Efficient Driver. So 5 is the max level, so Efficient Driver will be it, and then we're done. So another turn, and now we're fully healed. So even though we're fully healed, the next turn we still have no movement. So that can be a bit of a problem. The other thing is, because I haven't been able to top up quite enough Stoneware Crocs, and they only came to 88 last turn, we've stalled production. In fact, we've stalled production because of the Great Barrels. Now, stalling production isn't great, but it does happen sometimes, so it just is how it is. Anyway, we're going to have to wait till the next turn to get some action points and then do what we want to do next. Alright, so finally back in business. We're going to need some small barrels to get our Great Concentrate flowing again. So we have 1 already. Just leave $500 here at home. We can install our industrial filters, so we might go ahead and do that while we've got the chance. So industrial filters, those give you 10% more output from the source materials, so we do that, and that's good because that gets us down a bit further, and as we get our production manager level up for our guy on the spot, then we'll be able to get even more, have less materials required to make our brick wine. You can get things that obviously increase the amount of brick wine, but my preference is to reduce the materials, because often the materials can become the bottleneck. Alright, anyway, let's go and get some small barrels so that we can keep our production going before we go and hire someone. Haven't we got 16? Okay. Alright, it says here's the last batch. Now that you figured out how to get quality Great Concentrate from raw grapes, you won't be needing my services. However, since we've done so much business together, allow me to help with building out that operation. Receive Great Concentrate, 18 barrels. Receive 5 crates, pipes, and receive 25 barrels, and improve your relationship with Bill Murphy. Alright, so having gained the skill, if we go have a look at our crew skills, wherever they are. Having gained the skill Great Presses triggers us no longer to be able to do this mission once we're finished, but it is really good in that we get all those free materials to help buy that. Now if we look here, I think most of the materials have been delivered here, so we've got the pipes, we've got the barrels, all those sorts of things. And I think what we will need is we will need another property to start manufacturing that grape concentrate. Look, we're not desperate just yet because we've got 2 loads, but we will need to do that very soon. But in the meantime, let's try and finish what we started, and we'll actually go and hire this person. Actually, let's take the opportunity to get across here and keep expanding our front, very important. You always want to keep expanding your fronts because the scale that you can get to in terms of corners ultimately is what drives your ability to make profit and expand your business quickly enough. And we've still got this guy holding out on us. So we'll take the opportunity to destroy his property once more, and he finally complies with our demands. And then let's try and get ourselves across here as quickly as possible. Now we've got businesses we can still explore on the way, so we should do that. But I might have an ask while we're coming across here. No, he only fixes vehicles, and he does garage construction and numbers games, so he's not really someone we can... It's a shame. Anyway, we'll use our action points to discover some businesses. Okay, so you do get this icon sometimes on different businesses, and it's when they've done business with someone else, so it kind of gives you a feel for there might be someone else around doing business. Now it could be Kavar, but perhaps up in here in Western Loop there's somebody else operating. Alright, let's finally go and hire who we would like to hire. Okay, careless and sharp-eyed, so we got the best driver we can, and friendly, which is great for deliveries. So this guy, Daniel Roy, he's an absolute find. Gee, it took us some time, and obviously getting hurt along the way wasn't great and cost us a lot of turns, but hopefully having him will pay off. Alright, so we now have Dan on our payroll, and let's set him up to automate a few things. So what we'll do is we'll start off by assigning Dan a car. Now say we were going to get him to do deliveries, we would assign him the largest car, but or vehicle, but we only have a 2-door passenger. So because it's the only one, you can see here, because it's the only one available, it just automatically goes. If you've got multiples, when you click here, it'll give you some options. So Dan's in it now, and you can see he's ended up on the map now in this space. It would also be good to give him some protection. Now we've got plenty of options. We've got a spare pocket pistol, so we will give him that just for doing his deliveries, because we obviously don't want him to get beaten up. And now comes the complex part. So what we're going to do is set up a delivery route, and then we want to put Dan running that delivery route. So to do a set of deliveries, you click here to set up a new delivery, and then you need to click here on the actual delivery schedule. Now, we haven't added anyone to it yet, so we'll start off by making the schedule. And what we'll do is we'll call this bagman number 1, and we'll add this next step. So this can be a bit complex when you first see it, but the first thing you want to do is select what you want them to do for a step. So the first thing I want to do is collect from our support, or support a front. So when you click on that, then on the map it'll give you what are the fronts that you can choose to do this from. So we've got 3 fronts, and I tend to be the sort of person that just kind of works from one side to the other. So we'll work from left to right, and we'll select Joe's Corner, and you can then, so we've got the front as Joe's Corner. What are you doing? Well, it's only cash is the option, and then you want to go per agreement. So for other options you get different ones, but per agreement's fine. So they'll either give money if they're out of money, or they'll collect money if there's money sitting there. Now once you've finished a step, you've got to remember to save the step. So you've got three options. You can save the step and go back to the steps menu. You can save this step and add a new one, or you can discard the changes and go back. It also gives you down here what the previous step was and what the next step is. There's also one here that is delete the delivery step. So we're going to go through and add 3 steps now. So we're going to add the 3 fronts to pick up from. So we'll use the save step and add the new one. Now this is really handy because if you want to do the same thing over and over, you can do it over and over. So we'll now do the American Cannery, save that step, and we'll do Lily Dairy and save that step. So if we click this one, we'll now go to the menu and you'll see we have now got a 3-step collect support, and we can assign the driver. So we're going to assign Dan, and now what comes up on the map is you can see you've got the route that he's going to take. So he's going to go across here and then to each front in sequence and collect or support them. But what's the good of that? We want to be able to pick up the money, and we also don't want him to kind of get caught and lose the money. So at the end of that, what we want him to do is to storage drop off, and we want to go to our 1 storage, so we only have 1, which is Republic Lumber, and now we want him to drop off the cash that he's picked up. Now you can do all, you can do a particular quantity, you can do all but, or you can drop it off until it has a certain amount. So usually all is for when you just want to dump whatever you've got. Quantity is for if you know exactly what you're kind of going to need for, say, production. All but is good when you just want to keep some cash on hand, so you're buying things after. And until is actually kind of good for things like casinos, which you want to have a certain amount of cash in at all times. So we are going to get him to drop off not a quantity, all but, and we'll leave him $100 in his car, and we'll save that delivery step. Now if you remember from before, your car will get damaged and need maintenance over time. So if you've got a guy running around just doing lots and lots of deliveries and he's never fixing his car, eventually what will happen is the car will break down and start going slow, and your deliveries will come to a grinding halt. So usually the last step I add is repair your vehicle, and that last step will go here. So we've got a junkyard pretty close, which is great, and we do that. So now we've got a bagman route where he will go around continuously, pick up each of those protection rackets money from each front, and then he'll drop all but $100, and then he'll go and make sure his vehicle's repaired. So I think that's a pretty good one to start with. He's going to have a lot of spare time, so there's a fair bit of wastage in this route. So we could add that he can start automating the selling of brick wine, but I think we won't do that just yet because we've still got to set up our brick wine, our grape presses. So I probably need all the money from that. That said, maybe we'll just do one short route to make sure we've got some money coming in. So let's add that next step. So we will add a step to pick up, and we'll go to Republic Lumber and we'll pick up brick wine and all, so as much as he can fit. And then once he's picked up the brick wine, what we'll need to do is sell those resources. So we want to sell the brick wine. Now there's lots and lots of places to sell brick wine, but we probably should just do nearby ones. I'll actually go over this way because Yeah, we'll actually go over this way. So we'll go to the hand washing chrysanthemum and hand washing, and they can sell as much brick wine as they can. And then they can go over here to Midtown Newsstand and sell as much as they can. And then they can drop past Park Laundromat and sell as much as they can. And once they've done that, we want them to storage drop off brick wine so they can empty the car. And we want them to drop off the cash they've made, all but 100. Do it like that. So now what we might do here is modify a few steps. So this is a good chance to show how you modify it. So we can move this repair vehicle to the end again because now we've added a few more steps, and we want them to drop off the money in between here. But what I might do, actually we can probably delete this step, so I'll show you how to delete a step. So we've collected our money up the front. We're then going to go sell the brick wine, and then we'll drop off all but and repair our vehicle. So we want to get rid of this step, so we just go in here and delete this delivery step. And now the most important bit is we'll call this, rename this so that it makes sense, Bagman plus brick wine route number 1. Most importantly, you got to remember to press play. So we go start this delivery, and now at the end of each turn he will go and do that. Cool. So we've set up our automated delivery, and we've got our new crew member. And now for us, I think the next part we want to do is get ourselves set up in terms of our brake press manufacture. So we will have to purchase a new building and do that. So this is probably a good place for us to end the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Next time round we will get into buying a new building and setting up some great presses. Until then, please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next episode.